Hey, so my name's Kori Rou. I own and operate Chicot Irrigation. We're a locally owned family business here in southeast Arkansas in the United States, and we have been in the irrigation business for about 75 years, and our business provides irrigation services for farmers in 3 states here in the Mississippi Delta region.
Good. Kori, my name is Sardor. I'm from Global Textile Solution, and I have some few questions. So your system is impressive, and as I understand, you make the installation, make the project, everything key turn. The first question is, what kind of pipe do you use for the main line, for the underground pipes?
So for underground pipe installation, everything's made out of polyvinyl chloride, which is PVC.
PVC. Mm-hmm. And you use usually socket one pipes, not glued, underground.
Yeah, the mainline installations are all with what we call a reber gasket. It's a gasket design.
Yeah.
And so they're put together with no glue. Yeah.
And what's the pressure of underground pipes, pressure capacity? Because as I understand, you use a low pressure pump, but high capacity pumps.
Right. So everything is high volume, low pressure for furrow irrigation, for above ground irrigation. And so the pipelines have a 80 psi capacity.
80 psi.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Then do you have a automatization system that, I mean, sitting on your room, you can just turn on by mobile phone, or all the system is manual opening, I mean valves?
So we have both. I'd say that the majority of our customers operate their systems manually. They surge their systems, the pulsar systems. They'll surge them manually. They'll turn them on and off with their labor manually. But there are a growing number of growers that are going to an automatic system where they actually have valves that open and close on their own and pulse the water up and down the rows on their own.
Yeah. And can you just start from the beginning, from digging the wells, from the water source? Start from water source and end with the field direction. So
sure. So generally speaking, the water source can be anywhere, and we use surface water out of rivers and ditches and bayous and canals. But here in the Mississippi Delta, we're also blessed with a lot of groundwater. And it's very easy to access and very cheap to access, and there's a lot of it because we're in this river alluvial plain here, and so I'd say that we're about half and half. We do about half groundwater, half surface water, but in either application we install pumps, and we will pump that water through a series of pipelines underground to highs in adjacent fields. And out of those pipelines, they will distribute the water up and down the highs in those fields, down rows through polypipe.
Yeah.
And that water will run down the furrow and irrigate the plant.
And can you a bit tell about the polypipe diameters that you make the holes? So as I understand, this is a totally engineering design, every hole on a polypipe, and this is important as I understand. Can you briefly tell about it?
We have here in the Delta, we use a computer program. It's called Pipe Planner, and it's basically taking into account your length of run, the gallons per minute of your water source, and the elevation of your pipe run. And also it takes into account things like row spacing, what your row spacing and
96, 60, 71, 75.
And so it will actually tell you the number of holes to punch of each size on a line to make sure that your pressure remains constant throughout your pipeline, and that the water gets to the end of the furrow all at the same time. That's the goal, is for everything to water out at the same time, so you reduce runoff. You're not wasting any water.
Got it. And a few more questions. And as I saw, you fill up the hole of the drilled well with some kind of powder, with some kind of material. What kind of material is it? Is it a special that you order, or it's well known, or what?
It's a special that we have made for us specifically, and it's a crushed gravel that we have crushed our specifications and that we feel comfortable using. It's designed to allow a lot of water through it, but also to hold out any sand or formation
filters.
from the ground out of the well itself. So keep it out of the pump. Yeah.
And do you need to fill up this hole throughout the season, or you just fill up once and that's it?
Just one time. That's it.
Got it. And thank you. And about furrow irrigation, this is a kind of smart for water safe for irrigation. I mean the pulsar system. So you are distributing without any wastage of the water. And my question is, can we assemble this system on sandy soil when you just irrigate and in the morning there's no any sense of water?
Yes. Yes, you could do that. Absolutely.
And what kind of things we have to take it into account on making the design and engineering part if the soil is sandy?
If the soil is sandy, you're going to want to pulse the water a lot more often on sandier soil.
More flow, yeah, am I right?
More flow, because what happens in sandy soil is
more pulsing.
more pulsing. Yeah, you may want to swap sides every 2 to 3 hours.
And
Because-
every reach.
Because what happens is on sandy soil, it'll run across it really fast, but it won't penetrate deep.
Yeah.
And so sandier soil, you may think it would be opposite, but when you're irrigating sandier soil, it's harder to get penetration unless you pulse it. So there's no cracks. There's nothing for the water to penetrate into. It's really tight. So
We
Yeah.
can go soil.
okay.
Yes, thank you,
welcome.
Cory. Thank you. It was my pleasure.